Okay, in this video, we're going to configure the page settings for whenever you create a new page. This will be the default layout on what you set up here. So the first item we have right here under pages, we'll choose page, which we're already on, page options. And the first thing you see here is you can select a different sidebar that you want, or you can select no sidebar. And I'll just show you an example. Hit save changes. Go back to the page, hit reload, and you'll see that we have a full width page now. And you can also push those to the left or the right if you want. So we'll just choose our menu. We'll say we want it to the left, hit save changes, go back to the page, hit reload. And now you'll see that the sidebar is on the left. So let's put this back on the right, then save changes, and then we'll leave that as it is for now. Now the next thing we want to deal with is the title. So this will determine on how you want your title to display. And the title that I'm talking about here is the actual page title. Okay, so page options title. So you can put the actual title inside the header area. Now, depending on the background that you have here, okay, that's going to determine how your text shows up. So right now, this text color is the same as this background, and you'll see what I mean. So I'll put it in the header, and then I'll hit save changes. And then we'll go back to the page, hit reload. You'll see that you can't see it, okay? But it's right there. So in order to fix that problem, what you would do is choose light on dark. So whatever background you have, you want to make sure that you choose the appropriate contrast here, okay? So I'll hit save changes, and then you'll see when we reload the page, we should see our title in there. Now we're going to deal with this title in a minute as we keep moving forward, because as you can see, it's pushed up to the bottom of the actual navigation, and there's not a lot of padding or room here, okay? So, but we can fix that in a couple of ways, okay? Now there's another thing here. You can turn off or on the underline, and that's this piece right here, this little underline piece right there. And so we could say we turn it off, and then hit save changes, go back to the page, hit reload, and now the title or the line is no longer below the actual title. So we'll keep the title off for now. And we'll move on to the next section here, which is the hero. Now the hero is what you're going to put in this header area, and I'll show you what I mean. So for here we have color overlay. I'm just going to copy this color. Actually, let's choose our color that our site might be. That's a nice color. So once we choose that overlay solid color and hit save changes, and then hit refresh or reload, you'll see that it changes the color up here. So whatever your branding colors are, it should sit nice on this header area as far as when the text is sitting on top, as I was mentioning before, the light on dark or the dark on light. So I really like this theme because it really compensates for the different color schemes. So now, let's say if we wanted to choose an image. I have this image chosen, but let's just choose a different one. Let's see. They have some stock ones here. That looks pretty cool. So we'll choose that image. Then we'll click insert. And you see this header area height right here? That is the actual height of this header background, okay? But we'll leave it at that for now. And so we chose our image. Now we're going to hit save changes. Now when you go back to the page, I'll show you, an image will not show. And the reason why is because when you scroll down here, the overlay opacity, that's this color. So we can turn that down to about right there or so, Or you could just take it out altogether, just take it all the way down and have no type of filter over the top of it. So let's go back to the page, hit reload, and now you can see our image behind there. So, if you mess with the opacity, whatever you want to do there, hit reload, or you don't have to have anything on there at all. So you can see now it's a brighter tint right there, okay? So let's just leave that for now and then keep moving forward. You have a slider that you can put there, which is pretty cool. And if you put the slider there, when I mentioned before, that's actually going to help this title right here, okay? Well, that's one thing that's going to help create some breathing room there. So let's go back here and then let's choose our slider. Let's choose clean slider 1, okay? And then hit save changes. Then if we go back to the site, hit reload, you'll see that we have our slider here, okay? And if we choose a different slider, there's a bunch that you could choose from here. You just decide on what works best for you. Reload the page. And there's a different slider. But you can create your own sliders too with the Slider Revolution plugin, okay? And then you also have the grid that you can assign there. But for now, let's go back to our image because it's not so obtrusive and taking up all that space. So let's hit reload. Okay, but let's fix this right now. Let's fix this gap here because it's too tight if we wanted this title to stay in the header area. And you can see how annoying it is, well, anyway. We go back here, then we go to the element that we chose, and then let's pump this up to, let's say 330 or 300, that's fine. And then hit save changes, and then we reload the page. You'll see now we have a lot more breathing room. So this is looking pretty sweet. We have some stuff here that we can deal with, the colors and stuff, but that's stuff we can deal with later. Now, this piece right here, I don't know if I told you this before, but you can actually turn this off as well, okay? But that's in the actual slide in area, okay? You have to change that from the actual general setting. So let's just turn that off for now because it's just, I don't like the way it looks. So we'll choose the slide bar and click no slide bar. Hit save changes, and then we hit reload. And now we don't have that sidebar there anymore, that little X thing, okay? Okay, so that covers pages. Now, when we come back, what we're going to do is we're going to cover the blog posts, and we're going to set those up. And actually, those will be the default blog post, the single blog post, and the actual blog page on how they will look. Okay, when you have the page that displays all of your posts, well, not all of your posts, but a number of posts, and you can read more. That's what we're going to be dealing with next. So I'll see you guys in the next video.